What I do. This is the Brothers on Books podcast, where we find great books that will give you real value and actionable steps and have fun in the process. Please reach out to us at brothersonbooks@gmail.com for any book recommendations, or if you would like to be a guest host for a particular book you have in mind. A great review or rating on whichever platform you're listening to would be greatly appreciated. Lastly, if you can think of any friend, family member, or coworker that might like this episode, please pass it along. For the original episodes, the OGs, please visit brothersonbooks.com. I'm Alex Allweil, and with me as always is my brother Jack Allweil. Jack, how you doing?
Doing great, Al. How is it going in Alabama?
Pretty well. I made it back from sunny Florida and trying to reacclimate to sunny Alabama.
Okay.
How are you doing in Charlotte?
It's going pretty well. I played in my first pickleball match in league play. We won 2 matches, so that was good. It was best of 3 each match, and we won in 3 games each match. So it was pretty close, and hopefully more of that to come. And been learning a lot on YouTube editing and all this good stuff. So if the listeners are liking YouTube, we could use a subscribe. In fact, you know what? I was watching this guy today. He goes by the Mr. Beast. Have you heard about him?
No.
On YouTube? 100 million subscribers. He's basically the Oprah of YouTube. He gives away like cars, islands, super generous. They do all these fun pranks where, for example, they'll pretend like they have a flat tire on the side of the road, and the first person that comes to help them, they'll give like 10 grand, or they'll give their car away. Like all these like cool giveaways. And it's like genius. Honestly, it's like a game show on YouTube. So I've been enjoying watching him. So with that, if people subscribe and then send a message to brothersonbooks@gmail.com, I will send you $2 per subscription.
$2. Wow. Jack, you're like mom. Our mom, our mom used to send us checks for 37 cents as a joke.
My promise to our listeners, if they go subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Well, hopefully that hurts your bank account quite a bit.
Yeah, I guess I'll put a stipulation. It's got to be, let's say, the end of September. All the subscriptions to the end of September, I will give $2 to.
Okay.
So right. What are we discussing today?
Today we're doing the season 4 book draft, and
Dang.
it's it's hard to believe that we started doing this. I guess we started recording a little over 2 years ago. I think we started releasing episodes about a year and a half ago, but still, time has really flown by.
Going strong. This is episode 58. Most give up before episode 10.
Yeah, you are correct. But we have persevered. We have just kept pushing out content and reading books, and it doesn't seem like we're slowing down anytime soon.
Oh, some might call it stupidity, but we'll just keep going.
Is it really that stupid if you enjoy doing it and you learn something? So
That's true. We're getting value in gold here. The wisdom is unmeasurable.
Unquantifiable.
Right.
Gives me a lot of talking points for just random people I meet and talk to.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess with that said, Jack, are you drafting first or am I drafting first?
So my first selection for episode 59 is the book Taking Stock by Jordan Grumet, MD. He goes by Doc G and is the host of the Earn and Invest podcast. This is a hospice doctor's advice on financial independence, building wealth, and living a regret-free life. Everyone will love this episode to think about what people at the end of their lives are regretting and how you can avoid that, and how that is interwoven into your finances.
For the 60th episode, we are going to do the book, The Uncommunist Manifesto by Svetsky and Mark Moss.
The Uncommunist?
The Uncommunist Manifesto, yes. It's very short. You'll like it. It's only 80 pages. So,
awesome.
And the reading is very easy. I actually already finished it. I read it more or less in an afternoon. It's very good. I think we'll have a very good talk, and it's more or less about what you think it would be about. It's about why the Communist Manifesto is wrong and people should reject it.
Not to be confused, I think Kiyosaki came out with a manifesto recently of his own called the Capitalist
Capitalist
Manifesto.
Manifesto, yeah. I actually
Okay,
was
so
thinking about that, but I heard these guys talking on well, I heard Svetsky, I think, talking on the Investors podcast, talking about the book, which is what gave me the idea.
this one,
Yes,
Mark
Mark
Moss.
Moss.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've heard him. Yeah, I have heard him speak. Okay, cool. Okay, so episode 61 is going to be Profit First by Michael Michalowicz, I think is how you pronounce it. So I was interviewed on a podcast called the Wealth Wisdom Financial Podcast. And one of the hosts is Brandon Neely. So he was very into the infinite banking policies that we've discussed a couple times now. And he also is a big proponent of this profit first method. So he will be joining us on this episode because he loves this book so much.
I mean, I'm guessing it's somewhat intuitive what it means, but I guess we'll
My,
find out.
my guess is it's kind of like from Richest Man in Babylon, a part of all you
All
earn is
you
yours to
earn is yours
keep
to
or
keep.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Like, you just put the profit away first from the revenue and then figure out the other stuff, but profit first.
My next pick is going to be a little different. It's sort of going away from the realm of finances, and we're doing a universe from nothing. This
A
is by
universe from nothing?
yeah, this is by the physicist Lawrence M. Krauss, and he talks about I don't know. I started listening to a lot of debates on the existence of God, and I heard him talk, and more or less talks about how something can come from nothing, not like the
Darwin's
old.
black box.
Yeah, it would more or less be the antithesis to that. So
Okay.
interested to sort of see what he has to say.
And what is that book? Sorry, what's the author on that one?
His name is Lawrence Krauss. Last name Kraus.
Well, unfortunately, we had to move my Midsummer Morning by Alastair Humphreys to this block just so he could attend with us. But that episode, my Midsummer Morning, the story of him playing the violin through Spain and earning a living playing his violin. And I would suggest before, and we'll try to post it in the show notes and maybe a link on the YouTube to the video that he submitted for the Banff Film Festival because it is quite funny showing his playing through Spain. So that will be episode 63.
My next book that I had picked is The Price of Principle by Professor Alan Dershowitz. Why integrity is worth the consequences. And so this book, as well as you well know, Mom loves Alan Dershowitz, and she talks about him all the time. And she had been, she had just essentially been telling me to try and get him on the show over and over again. So finally, I just said, "Pick a book, Mom. Tell me which book to read, and I'll email him." So she picked The Price of Principle, and he did say he would come on. Currently, I'm just trying to run down a date in which we can record together, but it seemed like he would be relatively free in the middle of October. So I think releasing the episode in the beginning of November should be safe.
Okay, so Into Thin Air was quite popular. Season 1, it's one of our most downloaded episodes, most viewed on YouTube. And so I'm going to pick another John Krakauer book, Into the Wild.
Wow. Okay. So are we gonna have a movie watching party coincide with the book, the episode release?
Maybe. I actually forgot that that was a movie.
Yeah,
Very cool.
I remember I saw that movie at midnight with Dad at the Saginaw GKC theater when it came out, and I think we were the only two people in the theater.
Okay.
Just as a fun fact for everyone listening. And then my next book, and I guess the last book I have for this book draft, is The Deficit Myth by Stephanie Kelton. So this book is probably my longest of this batch, but still at around 260. And it's about MMT, or modern monetary theory. And
Okay.
this goes back to, on top of listening to all the God debates, at one point I started listening to a lot of MMT versus Austrian economics debates. And, I feel like I listen to a lot of people that, espouse Austrian economics ideals, and I figured I should read, I guess, the playbook of the person that espouses the MMT philosophy. So I guess that's what I did.
Okay. And then my last pick is The Lessons of History. Very short book by Will and Ariel Durant, winners of the Pulitzer Prize. Super short. It's like 100 pages. Lynn Aldine, who I respect a lot, a good macro thinker, said this was the best book she read last year. So I'm
Sure.
going with The Lessons of History. And I guess the only other note is, so as of now, we'll continue to do every other week. And if Al and I decide, or if we find a really good book on our own, we'll do solo episodes of it. Otherwise, we'll just release every other week. But I will say, at least on YouTube, I'll be doing 20 separate episodes of Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money, because each chapter is pretty independent. So I'm going to do 20 different episodes. Just another reason to go over to that YouTube channel and subscribe.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you'll get $2.
that's right, $2.
So any what are your thoughts on the list, Al?
I would say it seems like a good bit. We seem a little bit more concentrated in the areas than we have so in the past, but that's okay.
I think it's a pretty good mix.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
I guess the first half of those books are more like money type thing, personal finance related.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, actually, deficit myth you said is MMT. So
Yeah.
okay, well, yeah, it should be good. Any closing remarks?
Yeah, just looking forward to it. Feel like when I was reading the Uncommunist Manifesto, I was really enjoying it. So I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully, I haven't reached out to him yet, but hopefully we can get Svetsky or Mark Moss to come on. That'd be great.
That would be.
But yeah, otherwise I'm just looking to keep crushing it.
Hopefully, all of our listeners will keep crushing it. And with that said, please reach out to us at brothersonbooks@gmail.com for any book recommendations, or if you'd like to be a guest host for a particular book you have in mind. A great review or rating on whichever platform you're listening to this would be greatly appreciated. And lastly, if you can think of any friend, family member, or coworker that might like this episode, please pass it along. I'm Jack Allweil, and with me, as always, is my brother Alex Allweil. Al, sayonara.